What's up, you gremlins? On the menu for today is carrot cake baked oatmeal. I love to meal prep my breakfast because it saves me time in the morning, and these baked oatmeals are a great way to do that. This carrot cake baked oatmeal takes a little bit of extra time compared to the other ones because you have to grate the carrots. Once you get that done, it's smooth sailing the rest of the way. We're looking for fine, small chunks of carrots here. We don't want big pieces to go into the oatmeal, so take out your box grater, find the smallest setting, and send those carrots through the grater. After everything's been grated, take a bowl and line it with paper towels or a cheesecloth. We're going to squeeze out as much moisture from these carrots as possible because if we leave it in, our oatmeal bake might get a bit too soggy. We don't need to go crazy here. It's not necessary to get every last drop of water out of these carrots, but squeeze enough out to give yourself a nice shot of carrot juice at the end. Breakfast is certainly the least meal prepped meal out of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I love meal prepping my breakfast because of how much time it saves me in the morning. When I do have meal prepped breakfast in the fridge, I can sleep in an extra 20 or 30 minutes since I don't have to wake up and make myself anything else to eat. That alone makes it worth it to me, but these oatmeal bakes are so easy to make, it's almost rude not to always have them in your fridge. Not only are they great for breakfast, they also make for the perfect midnight snack. When the end of the day rolls around, it's about time for bed, and you just want something sweet before you hit the hay. These are the perfect thing to throw in the microwave and give yourself a little bit of food before you go to bed. After those carrots have been wrung out a bit, it's time to throw everything together. Into a large bowl, add 3 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats, 2 scoops or 60 grams of vanilla whey protein powder. Now you can probably get by with using any kind of protein powder here. I don't think it would really make a difference in the long run, so if you wanted to use casein, I'm sure that would be fine. Or if you have a vegan protein powder, whatever you have, as long as it's vanilla flavored, it should be alright. Add in the remaining dry ingredients, ground ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, and baking powder. Mix all those dry ingredients together until they're evenly combined. Now you can add in all your wet ingredients, including our grated carrots. So take those grated carrots, pour them into the bowl, and then add some brown sugar. Now I like to take that brown sugar and pour it directly over the carrots first and mix those two together before I incorporate it into the rest of the bowl. Carrots are a vegetable after all, and vegetables are gross, so we might as well take that brown sugar and let it do some work. It's probably not a necessary step, but I like to do it just for some peace of mind. Next, we're going to add the remaining liquid ingredients, starting with some liquid egg whites. Now, if you wanted to crack a bunch of eggs and pull out the yolks, you could certainly do that. I like to use the ones in the carton just because they're easier to measure. Add in some milk, maple syrup, melted butter, and stir that all together until it's well combined. You can get creative with the ingredients on these oatmeal bakes and make substitutions in order to make them more macro-friendly. For example, you could use sugar-free syrup instead of maple syrup. You're going to save some calories, but definitely sacrifice on flavor. Or you could omit the melted butter, but the fat from the butter does help with moisture in the end product, so if you don't have to, I don't recommend leaving it out. Add the mixture to a greased baking dish. I'm using a 13 by 9. Spread it out evenly in that baking dish, and then we're going to bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes. You will know it has finished baking once it has set in the center. While that oatmeal is in the oven cooking, we can prepare our frosting to go on the top. Into a bowl, add equal parts plain non-fat Greek yogurt and cream cheese, and then some Splenda to help sweeten it up. Mix it all together until it's thoroughly combined. You can taste test it and add more Splenda if you need to, or if you're not a fan of using artificial sweeteners, plain is fine. You will just have to add more than the Splenda because it is not as sweet. Transfer that frosting over into a Ziploc bag, which we are going to use as our piping bag. Pull the oatmeal out of the oven when it's done cooking and allow it to cool to room temperature. We can't frost it until it's cool, otherwise we're going to melt all that frosting. Cut a fairly decent sized hole in the corner of that Ziploc bag and pipe the frosting over the top of the baked oatmeal in whatever design you prefer. Remember, this frosting is a bit more macro friendly than the real stuff. If you don't care and you want it to taste really good, use real cream cheese frosting. After it has been frosted, you can cut it into 6 slices and store it in separate meal prep containers. It's meant to be stored in the fridge and reheated in the microwave whenever you're ready to eat it. It will last up to 5 days in the refrigerator. If you cut the oatmeal bake into 6 servings, each slice will have about 423 calories and 23 grams of protein. The full written recipe is available in the description or on my website, mealprepmanual.com.